begin, as always, finding initial rational zeros. So 5x cubed minus 9x squared, whoops, plus 28x plus 6. Graph it. And now it looks like we're in trouble because I'm not really sure exactly where that's crossing. But I can always just use the calculate feature and see if I can come up with what that is. That 0 is clearly between, say, -1 and +1. It may in fact be 0. I'm just not sure. In fact, I'm going to guess it's 0 and just see what happens. Oh, it's not at 0. It's at -0.2. -0.2, if you don't recognize, is -1/5. Okay? So you could leave it as a decimal. This process would still work as a decimal, but it's generally best to change things to fractions. And if you need help with that, go back to the home screen, type in -0.2 math, and just hit enter. The triangle with a frac means to turn it into a fraction. -1/5 into 5, -9, 28, and 6. So bring the 5 down. 5 times -1/5 is -1. This is going to be -10. -10 times -1/5 is 2. That's going to add up to 30, and then -6 and 0, which gives us an ability to find the remaining zeros by solving the quadratic. 5x squared minus 10x plus 30 equals 0. So first thing I'm going to do is divide everything through by 5. So I'm going to get x squared minus 2x plus 6 equals 0. And then I think I'll come over here to this side to finish working this one out. So I want to factor it. Hopefully it factors. So for 6 and 2, oh, you know what? It's not going to factor. I don't need to go any further. I know it's not going to factor because if it was going to factor, that means it would have either integer or rational zeros. If it had any more integer or rational zeros, we would have found them on the output screen of the graph. Since we didn't, that doesn't exist. These are going to be imaginary. So completing the square or the quadratic formula, whichever you prefer. In this case, I think completing the square will be pretty simple. -2 divided by 2 is -1. Square that. It's +1. So this factors into x minus 1 quantity squared equals -5. So x minus 1 equals the plus or minus square root of 5. Whoops, -5. Or x equals 1 plus or minus I square root of 5. So those are the remaining zeros.